Welcome, I'm Gordon Mann, and I'm joined by Taylor Simpson here of the University of Chicago Maroons, and this is a Road to Holland, Michigan feature, but we've taken a detour. We're here in Salem, Virginia for the presentation of the Jostens Trophy, which is Division III basketball's top award. It is for academics, athletics, and service. And so we're going to talk with Taylor a little bit about each of those. Taylor, a native of Lee's Summit, Missouri.
Correct.
Did I remember that correctly?
Yes.
Okay. And you played for Chicago this year. Basketball was relatively a new sport to you. You started, I understand, when you were in 7th grade. Did you play something before that?
Yeah, I've actually played soccer. Well, I did play soccer a lot longer than I played basketball. I started playing soccer when I was 5 years old, and I played that competitively until my senior year of high school. So yeah, basketball was definitely it came second.
So until your senior year of high school, you did. Is that when you picked up basketball, near the end of your high school?
Oh, no. I mean, I started basketball in 7th grade,
oh, okay.
but I played soccer throughout
Gotcha.
my career as well.
Did you? How do you feel about soccer in comparison to basketball? Is soccer still your first love?
No, yeah, I mean, it was my first love, but it was actually a really unexpected switch. I started, it's in between my junior and senior year of high school. Like, the plan had always been to play soccer. It had been like such a prominent force in my life for so long. And but then I kind of just decided, you know what, I think I'll play basketball in college. I love basketball. So I started sending my tape places. I had never played AAU, and so I got an AAU team, and I started going to tournaments, and I played 1 year of AAU basketball.
Where else did you look for college, or who else did you hear back from?
Well, I sent it to a lot of UAA schools, actually. They seem to have a lot of the things I was looking for. When it's strong academics and good basketball programs, and the UAA is just a really great conference. So I ended up visiting 5 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, so the UAA was where I wanted to be.
Well, you did the little conference tour then before you were actually on the team, and the team did the conference tour and did it very well this year. Undefeated, the Maroons, they were 27-1 overall in the season. What will you, in such a remarkable season, you've had a little bit of time, not a lot, only about 6 or 7 days to think about it. What will you remember most from your college basketball career? What will be your fondest memories?
I think the run we've made these past couple of years has been so much fun, and the players I've been so lucky to be surrounded by. Like, we'll have lifelong friendships, I hope. I'll never forget them. We really embodied. I feel like I've said this a million times, but we really embodied this selfless attitude of it doesn't matter who scores, and everyone has been so focused on the team and on teamwork, and I think that's the reason we've been able to be so successful, is that we're all so just devoted to each other and picking each other up and making each other better. So I'll never forget all the players that I've been so lucky to play with.
You know, sometimes players in their senior year, when they play their last game, sometimes they make comments to the team. I don't know if you had that sort of role on the team, but did you have a chance to say things to your teammates after the game against Calvin, or did the coach say something to the seniors? You know, kind of paint that picture for me after the game's over.
It was a tough situation, that's for sure. I mean, obviously we were hoping to go farther, and the loss was a bit of a shocker. I mean, of course we knew going into it was going to be a tough game, and we were going to have to play well to win. But you never expect to lose. So it was a really tough, probably the toughest time I've had. And after our game in the locker room, I think we didn't really know what to say.
Right.
Yeah. So I was a little too torn up to say anything, but
Sure.
I think we're gonna have a team meeting and probably get all of our everything we want to say out to each other. Right.
Well, Taylor is the second player from Chicago to win the Jostens Trophy. Derek Reich won it as a men's player, obviously, back in 2003, I believe. And Taylor is also the second UAA player to win the award on the women's side. Alia Fisher won it in 2001. Alia, actually, according to us at least, at D3 Hoops, is the greatest basketball center ever at the women's Division III level. So you're in very good company. And your coach, Coach Roussel, has said, you know, I don't like to rank players, but he, in talking with the Chicago Tribune before the season, he said, it would be wrong for me not to say, I'm paraphrasing a little bit here, it would be wrong for me not to say that in terms of her academic and her athletic accomplishments, that Taylor is the best player I've ever had. When you read or heard that, What did you think?
I was touched. It really means a lot for a coach to say that about me, and it made me feel really good. Obviously, I think I'm not doing these things for the recognition, but to be able to be recognized for that it means a lot to me, and it was really a nice quote.
We have a chance when we interview the student athletes here. We talk about the fact that Division III athletes are, kind of the purest form. They're definitely student first and athlete second. And Eris Wertz, our men's winner, has a triple major with philosophy, business, and economics. And you also have a very interesting mix. You are a visual arts and pre-med major.
Right.
Tell me how those two things fit together. First, I got to be honest, tell me what visual arts is, then tell me how they fit together.
I get that question a lot. It's studio-based, so it's actually the practice of photography, painting, drawing, and whatever you want to focus on is up to you.
What's your medium of choice?
Well, I've kind of dabbled in everything a little bit, but I think sculpture is one of my one I always go to.
Okay.
I always come back to. But yeah, so that's visual arts, but my goal is to be a doctor. I want to go to medical school, so I think majoring in pre-med and majoring in visual arts, but also having the pre-med designation has been such a nice balance for me. I think a lot of pre-med students are become so obsessed with their GPA and their resume and everything, and just like the intensity of science classes, and so it can be really insular. So I think for me, majoring in visual arts was really important to kind of help me be more well-rounded and an individual, and it was kind of I've always loved art, and it's kind of my last opportunity to study it in a formal setting. So I thought, why not?
Well, you're also a well-traveled individual. I understand you've been during your college time, Paris. You did a week, I believe, in Honduras, and you taught visual arts to children in India.
Yes.
So tell me about the India experience.
Sure. So I went to Varanasi, India, and I taught at this school called Nirman, and it's an NGO, and it's a K through 8. And I came in, and they didn't have any visual arts curriculum. So I had to write from nothing 5 visual arts curriculum for grades like kindergarten, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up. And it was a really wonderful experience, and really intense and challenging, because they don't have a lot of the resources or the same resources that we have. And so it was intense, creatively, it was intense having to come up with 10 lesson plans a week with these materials that maybe you're not used to and unexpected, and so it was a lot of fun, and getting to know the kids was really just an amazing experience, and a wonderful time.
This is going to sound like I'm interviewing you here for medical school, but you have the pre-med designation.
Yeah.
What does the visual arts background give you that someone who's been science focused won't have?
That's a good question. I'm sure it's one that I'll get in my interviews.
Well, this will give you a chance to practice for it, so go ahead and take your time.
Practice interview. I think that in art, there's a connection to people that is really important. I think that a lot of a big part of artwork is connecting people, and I think there's a human side to medicine that a lot of doctors can miss, because they're so invested in the sciences and the technical knowledge that I think they forget that the core of being a doctor is working with people, and relating to them is just as important, and gaining their trust is just as important as being able and knowing what they need, in a technical sense,
She handled that well.
Thank you.
Speaking of connections to people, there's an element of service to the award, and I understand you started a group, I think it's called Global Brigades.
Correct.
Did I get that right?
Yes.
Tell me what that is and what it does and how that got off the ground.
Well, Global Brigades is a national or international organization. It's at colleges across the U.S., but I found out about it when I was a freshman in college, and realized we didn't have a chapter at UChicago,
Okay.
and I thought it was a really worthwhile organization because it's all about sustainability and it's very comprehensive. So basically, so there's like medical, not only the medical, but also like business, law, microfinance. So it really has like a comprehensive change, and so that's really what initially got me interested in it. And so I started the medical brigades up first, and I was in the middle of my first year, and by September of my second year, we took a trip to Honduras, and we ran a medical clinic for a week. And
how many languages do you speak?
Just I dabble in French, but nowhere near fluent. But just English.
Okay. You're very brave then. You want to be a surgeon, I understand. That's your career goal.
Yes.
But first, you're going to go to Teach for America,
yes.
which is a very different path. Tell me why you decided why the 2-year stint in Teach for America first?
Well, I think, I've had a lot of teaching experiences throughout my college career. I did a tutoring program at UChicago, and then I also did obviously in India, we talked about, and I really, really enjoyed those experiences. And, and I think I think Teach for America is a really important goal, and something that I really care about. And I think that equal education everywhere in the U.S. is really important. And so I think I couldn't think of a better way to be spending my time.
Do you have your assignment yet? Do you know where you're going?
I do. I'm assigned to the Bay Area in California. Yeah, San Francisco. Yes.
I've got 2 more questions for you.
All right.
The last hard one. In the Chicago Tribune article, you referred to basketball as your saving grace. Those were the words you used. Tell me what you mean.
I think, University of Chicago is a really academically rigorous institution. The classes require a lot of studying and a lot of hard work. So I think you can become so engaged or invested in them. Having basketball for me was really important to help me take a step back and to keep me to escape, I guess, for a little bit. And because when I'm in basketball, I don't think about anything else. It's only basketball, and that was really important for me. And it helped me strike that balance between classes and a release of energy.
Well, the last question for you is the same one we asked Eris in the men's interview. This, which is 64 pounds of Czech crystal. I sound like like a floor model here. This is yours. Yeah. Where will you put it?
You know what? And I think I'm going to have the same answer as him too. I think I'm.
You're going to put it at Ripon College?
Yes, Ripon College. I'm dedicated to Ripon. No, I think I'll put it in the Ratner Center, in our athletic facility, because. I don't know. I think that's where it belongs.
Does Derek have his there? Derek Wright?
He does.
Ah! He's putting the pressure on you.
He is. Can't live up to his standards.
But she's Taylor Simpson, and she's lived up to just about every standard we have at Division III. It's Taylor, an honor to meet you. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll be back with more on the road to Holland, Michigan.